job that requires your specific skills. I expect you to be efficient and discreet. Don't disappoint me. I expect you to be efficient and...
We're in luck. We made it here before Ja'ula. Let's get to work. Starfleet is studying a spore colony on the planetoid ahead. It's a scientific research facility. No weapons, shields only. If Ja'ula or her lackeys come to visit, they'll be sitting ducks. Fortunately, we're here. We're carrying some defense satellites in the shuttle bay. Deploy them at key defense points, and Ja'ula will be in for a nasty surprise if she decides to raid this spore colony. Alachi fleet dropping on a board. They're arming weapons. Okay, let's have a look. Sensors online, weapons active, shields at full. Good. Defense Satellite Alpha is open and ready for business. May it never fire a shot. We've got more work to do here. Let's get the next satellite in place. Heads up! Lots of people just dropped on the floor. Gamma online while we can. I was afraid of this. More watching. They're hitting Satellite Alpha again. Looks like an Alachi flagship. Lots of good data coming in from the satellites. Looks like they're green across the board. Dunatu Station sends their regards. There's a few dozen people down there who'll sleep a little easier tonight thanks to our efforts. The Alachi, the Ferengi, the Orions, and hey, let's not forget about Ja'ula. Anyone tries to make a play for the Spore Colony, they're gonna regret it. But I digress. As much as I'd like to stick around and see what the researchers are up to, there's more work to be done. I'm picking up a distress signal from the Kern system. Kumarke's there with the Lukari research group. They...
Good to see you, my friend. As you can see, I'm in the middle of a firefight once again. That said, I can't think of anyone I'd rather have at my side during such an ordeal. As am I. In spite of our mission being scientific in nature, the rogue Klingons attacked us all the same. I suppose they thought we'd be easy prey. I'm happy to say their logic was tragically flawed. We can ponder their motivations further once the shooting stops. For now, I believe we should focus our attention on putting a stop to their attack.
This is the Kobayashi Maru.
Sensors are clear, for the moment. I'm afraid I have some bad news, however. 2 of our ships were studying the nearby rift into the mycelial network when the Klingons attacked. While I'm still showing them on sensors, they're not responding to our hails. I fear they're in danger.
That rift's unstable. We need to hurry, or those ships won't make it.
Klingon vessels are warping into your position.
hit us. We lost main power, sensors, everything. If you arrived a few minutes later, it would have been over for all of us. Needless to say, any assistance you can offer us now will be great. Truly, the blessings of Lucar are upon us this day. Thank you. Our sister ship was hit by the energy surge as well. I will not abandon the Voot or her crew before returning to safety.
Our systems are coming back online nicely. My thanks to you and your crew. At the risk of looking impatient, may I suggest we move to safer surroundings? There's no telling when this rift will surge once more, and then all 3 of our ships will be stuck like Gretloons in a snare strip.
Under the circumstances, I think it'd be a good idea to use what we've learned so far and close the rift up while we can. The longer it stays open, the more chances we have of pissing off the Alachi, or the Josep, or a roving tardigrade. You see where I'm going with this?
If you feel that's for the best, well, so be it. We'll watch your back while you make that happen.
That's one less rift to worry about. Let's regroup with the market.
Bad news, I'm afraid. Klingons are approaching our position. last of them. It appears Ja'ula and her forces have been stopped once again. Though she is quite determined, they may well return here to pursue their mischief once more. Indeed. In the meantime, we'll remain here to complete our research. Safe travels to you.
Starfleet's been reading a lot of Klingon ships operating near the Briar Patch. Normally, I wouldn't be too concerned, but there's a spore colony. I'm picking up signals from automated harvester units. It's Mokai Tech. They're processing spores here. Looks like they've placed the harvesters on several asteroids. We need to shut those down, now. I'm picking up a lot of Metreon gas pockets out there, too. If we get into a fight, watch your fire around them. One hit can set one of them off, and the resulting explosion could be deadly, even to a starship. I'm betting the Mokai will draft station. Shutting that thing down will be easy enough, but I'm concerned about the radiation it's been emitting into the spores. I'd like to neutralize that before taking the harvester tech offline, if you don't mind. Letting it linger could lead to serious side effects within the mycelial network. Watch it. Mokai attack ships just dropped out of patrol. Down, one to go. Hope we can deal with... was something. Still debating whether it was terrifying or gratifying or both, but it was something. We'll want to keep an eye on this system until the whole Ja'ula situation is dealt with. I wouldn't put it past her to send more ships and more harvesters. The coast is clear. There's a Starfleet distress signal coming from the Kinger system. Looks like there was a fight here recently. I'm not picking up any House Mokai ships on the sensors, though. If they're here, they're under cloak.
Good to see you. Admiral Cabret, at your service. As you can see, we're dealing with an unexpected breakout of hostilities here. We came here to determine the status of a rather unusual variety of spore. As we were getting our bearings, a Ferengi marauder dropped out of cloak and unleashed hell. Afraid so. Fortunately, the Carter and Shurgat were able to respond before the Ferengi finished us off. Once they arrived, the Daemon pursued the better part of Vala and went back under cloak. Now that you're here, I believe the Ferengi will cut and run, assuming they're still out there hiding.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm reading low-level radiation coming from a nearby asteroid. I think your Ferengi is out there harvesting spores, Admiral.
Take the Carter and Shurgat with you. The Ferengi will think twice about attacking a group of ships, and you might be able to put an end to all this without firing a shot.
The Carter is ready to assist you.
Lead the way, and the Shurgat will follow. Reading a single Ferengi vessel, Marauder class. They've decloaked.
I thought I made myself clear to that woolly-faced Starfleet Admiral. This salvage is mine and mine alone. Now run along before I'm forced to damage that pretty ship and take it as a prize. After all, even a damaged ship of that class will fetch a fine pile of latinum. That's what you get for doing your own thinking, friend. Allow me to show you the error of your ways. Leave enough of their ships for salvage.
news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Bad news, the Ferengi managed to harvest a spore colony from the asteroid before we arrived. He's got more than enough to make our lives difficult if he sells to Ja'ula. The Ferengi ship just dropped out of Cloak, and by the look of things, they're suffering a full propulsion system breakdown. No impulse, no warp, thrusters only. So, how do you feel about taking those spores off their hands?
Before you start, let me remind you that I have what you want, and it's one button press away from disintegration. My ship might be a mess, but my personal phaser works just fine. You beamed out my spores! Not one, not some, but all my spores! I'm ruined! Oh, I don't suppose you're interested in a very promising business opportunity on Risa? Beachfront property?
We've got company, angry company. They're targeting us and the Ferengi.
Our next will be our next hunt.
Do they not know the 16th rule of acquisition? A deal is a deal! Ah, but you're not a barbarian like those... Never mind. You've got class, I can tell. Now, don't be so hasty, my classy, well-armed friend. Before you haul me off, let me tempt you with a one-of-a-kind offer. That Ryzian timeshare I mentioned earlier, plus a full barrel of Tranya. 2386 vintage. That's easily worth my weight in latinum. Tholian Queen honey. One spoonful grants immortality.
The Birmingham is ready for action, and not a moment too soon. It looks like Madron's treacherous friends are coming back for a rematch.
I can honestly say I had nothing to do with these ships coming to kill us. They're doing it all on their own. You aren't going to let them kill me, are you? I'm helpless. You have to protect me.
Well fought indeed. They'll think twice about coming after us again. I'll let Alliance Command know what happened here today. If Je'ula or any of Modron's friends try to harvest the spores in this system, we'll make sure they have a nice welcoming party waiting for them. Modron's on his way to a Federation holding facility. We will make sure he faces justice for what he's done here today. Rest assured. Your work is done here. We'll take care of the wrap-up. Cabret, out.
The Klingons think House Mokai forces are up to something in the Imaga system. I understand there was a problem with a planet killer in that system a while back. Interesting. Oh, where was I? Right, Imaga. In addition to a lot of debris and the ruins of this planet killer, there are spore colonies there. And House Mokai is probably harvesting them, so we should put a stop to that real soon. Getting some unusual readings from the spore colonies in this system. They're mutating at an accelerated rate, absorbing and emitting some nasty radiation as they do so. Right, well, the spores are growing on the debris of this doomsday machine, which is where all of that radiation is coming from. This is a problem. The radiation is bleeding into the mycelial network through the spores. It'll cause serious damage if we don't deal with it soon. Hate to say it, but we need to cull the mutated spore colonies before the damage to the network is too great to reverse. We do not want to get hit by those radiation pulses. Trust me. Watch out! Mokai Raiders on an intercept course. the next spore colony before the Mokai send reinforcements. Colony neutralized. Let's head toward the next one. Picking up Mokai ships on long-range sensors. We're about to have company.
Ship is under attack.
rightfully ours. Comply!
Ship is under attack.
For the Empire!
Glorious! Did you see how Ja'ula ran like a scalded targ? She is not Klingon, and a disgrace to the memory of her honorable brother. We shall remain vigilant. If the coward Ja'ula shows her hideous face here again, I will finish what we started here this day. I will send her, screaming, to the gates of Grethor!
Is it me, or do most forms of Klingon justice ultimately end with screaming in Grethor? You know, never mind. I think I know the answer to that. Look, as long as House Mokai isn't polluting and destroying the mycelial network, I'm good.
The long-range sensor arrays in the Trela system went offline recently. Last thing they picked up before that happened was a Borg scout ship. I'm heading to Trellis now to investigate. If this is the beginning of a new Borg incursion, I could use some backup. Meet me there as soon as you can. Thanks for coming. Been a while. You look well. Considering what I hear about your exploits, that's an impressive feat. Back to business. Spotting a Borg scout here made a lot of people nervous, and with good reason. So, some old friends called in a favor, and here I am. I came here looking for Borg, but the real problem turned out to be sabotage. Orion smugglers fouled up the long-range array, but they left the short-range sensors intact. I have plenty of evidence from the sensor logs to turn over to Alliance officials. Still a concern. If they're sizing up this quadrant as an incursion zone, we need to know about it. I have a few ideas on upgrading the sensor arrays, making them harder to disable and better at spotting Borg. Beam me over and we can sort out the details. With your assistance, I can complete the modifications quickly. Good. Now that we have a working array, our next step will be initiating the new security protocols. Hold on. Are you seeing this? The long-range sensors just lit up like a Dabo table. Reading a massive energy surge. We're being scanned. Something's overriding all our control systems, attempting to bypass.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Well, that was unpleasant. Still, there are no damage reports, no casualties. Scanning. This is unexpected. According to Astrometrics, we were catapulted several hundred light years from Trellis to the Excalibur system. Here's some facts to go along with those legends. In the 23rd century, Excalbians abducted the USS Enterprise and subjected some of her crew to a series of combats. Some sort of morality test. Feels that way to me. I doubt they dragged us all the way out here to have a Raktajino and talk about baseball. There's one way to find out for sure. Hail them and see what they want. I can boost the signal once the ship is in a standard orbit. Assuming the Excalbians are in a talking mood, we should have answers soon.
receiving your signal. On behalf of the Excalbian people, I bid you welcome. Yes, I suppose that would be a bit of a surprise. You'll pardon me for that, I hope. Some time ago, I met and fought beside one of your own, Captain James Kirk. Under the circumstances, we felt seeing a familiar face would make this meeting go a little smoother. That is a complicated matter, I'm afraid. I think it would be easier to discuss it face to face. We prepared a meeting ground on the surface of Excalbia. It meets your needs for atmosphere and climate. Welcome, friends. I do hope the local climate is to your liking.
The climate's fine. It's our abduction that we have a problem with, friend.
My apologies. It was not an action of my choosing, I can assure you.
Your presence is required for a matter of great importance.
Greater than conversations with dead presidents?
Long ago, the two of us were involved in a study, if you will.
An evaluation of two concepts, good and evil. The initial results were ultimately inconclusive.
The debate has continued since that time.
We now seek a final resolution.
What does that have to do with us, exactly?
You have been chosen as advocates for the concept of good.
But you will not face it alone.
Hello. Looks like we have a lot of work to do here.
That's putting it mildly.
You have questions. I will attempt to clarify our intentions. In this trial, you will be accompanied by associates that we have created for you. You will confront a variety of situations in opposition to evil forces. Your actions will be judged, as will those of your opponents. The prevailing concept will guide us as a people. We shall pursue the virtues of good, or the vices of evil. We find violent conflicts produce pure examples of good and evil. They provide the best results to evaluate and judge. Failure to participate will be seen as your endorsement of the supremacy of evil. The trial will then conclude with a judgment in favor of evil, and our subsequent pursuit of the concept as a guiding principle. The trial awaits you. Proceed through the portal behind me when you are prepared.
I think we need to be cautious when dealing with the Excalbians. They're a lot like Q, minus a sense of humor. Fashion sense could use a little work, too. For now, I say we play their game and stay in one piece. Look for opportunities to swing things in our favor. Our new teammate here might have some insight into the situation as well.
Michael Burnham, of the USS Discovery. Judging by your uniforms, I'd say I'm in the future. The last thing I remember was preparing for battle with my crew, and the crew of the Enterprise. Since we're having this discussion, I'm guessing we won that fight. My apologies, my memory's a bit fuzzy. Possibly a side effect of whatever brought me here. Over 150 years. Fascinating. Right. I'll catch up later. Assuming we get through this trial in one piece. To address your original question, I wish I had all the answers, but I know as much as you do. Going through this trial will give us the chance to conduct some tests of our own, learn more about them and the situation here.
Take heart, my friends. Yarnik has a forceful personality, but his voice is not the only one heard here. There are many Excalbians who would embrace virtues before vices. Well said. And as one of your allies here, I have a warning for you. The trials are drawn from your past experiences and records, but they will not be identical recreations. There will be alterations to test your responses and those of your opponents. Expect the unexpected. Please accompany me. Beyond that portal, the first trial awaits. Good luck, my friends.
My tricorder's showing a Class M tropical biome. By the look of things, this world is under attack. I'm reading a lot of weapons fire from several locations in the area.
This is a safe position for now.